This is how you're going to make a strand and weave all the different rings together. First you need to split them up into different closed ones and opened ones. You're going to need about half of both of them. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with your first open one, and you're going to add 4 closed ones onto the open one. Close it together. Now that you have that, you're going to look on these ones and how these two are on top of these two. And that's important because you're going to take your second ring and you're going to put it around the first two, always facing up afterwards. So as an example, you're going to go down and you're going to go up through the other one. Then you add your 2 rings. Doesn't matter how you add them, as long as they are on top of the other ones. And then you will close this. This allows you to stop in the middle of your mail making and not have to worry about how far along, because you can just do it by measurement. Now you see that I made sure that these 2 are on top and they're overlapping. I'm just going to add more. So I add another one, get my 2 closed, just link them on there, and then I closed it. I'm going to do it again until I have the length that I want. For me, I started by doing the length of the torso. Once I got the length of the torso, I just added a bunch of these strands that are the same length together, which I'm also going to show you. There we go. See how I keep moving upwards? I can just keep adding another strand over and over again. I'm trying to do this quickly, that way I don't mess you guys up if you're following along. Feel free to pause this at any point in case you get confused. Now you see I got it all the same, and I keep pulling these 2 bottom ones just to make sure that it opens up, because if it doesn't open up, it means I put it in on reverse. That means what I did, instead of having them on top, I had them on the bottom and then I linked them on this side. When that happens, it closes this way, but when I pull, I should be opening it the other way. So if I pull it this way, it stays open, but if I get it on the wrong side and I pull on it, they will close together. It's a simple way of remembering if you're doing it right before you mess up. So I know I have that opening up there when I add my other 2. Now I have a strand. You will also notice that on the very end here, that this part here seems wrong. But that's simply to fix just by reversing what's going on here. So if I just do a little flip, there we go. Now they're all facing the same way. And I can continue on to connect them together. Now I'm going to need a few more open ones because I did not plan ahead, and I tried to make this all in one wheel, all in one video, just to keep it a little bit quicker, because you have to be able to add these strands together. Now I'll just open one more. show you guys. Okay, now when you add these together, you gotta make sure that they're facing the same way. So you have a little pattern here. These are all, the middle ones are going to the top in this direction. And these ones in the center are also going the same direction. That one. That means the top one should be facing the other direction. Now I know it's going to be hard to see this, so I'm going to try to use the pliers. But you need to go through these two parts and come out on the other side. So if you can see this, I hope. We'll see how well you can see it. Came down through those two, and I come up through the other two. Now this bunch will group together like no other. That's okay. But when you pull it apart, you can't quite tell, so you need to realign it together. Lots of shaking because of bad quality, and I'm very sorry for that. But afterwards, it should look alright. I'll just add another one. So I come down through here. I got very shaky hands, I need more coffee. And up through the other ones. Now I have all four in that same ring. And I closed it. And then I'm going to reevaluate it to make sure everything looks good. That's not so bad. These are also facing the same way. And I will keep going. You notice how I start on the top and go to the bottom. I'm using the spirals in my advantage. That's not turning out so bad. I am usually doing this on an open part. Now here's the problem. I gotta make sure that these are facing the same way. Good. Once you get towards the end, it could be in reverse, and then you can mess it up. So, another one. And of course you would have a lot longer strands of this. I just had two strands that were too short on the torso part of my chain shirt. Okay, so you need to go down through these two and up through the other two. Doesn't matter which side you start at, it's just the way this spirals, this end spirals down into it, so I can curve it upwards, and this one curves upwards. So if I tried on this end, I would have to go around and against it. Whereas this way, get in. Sorry you can't see fully. And then you can get underneath and just lift it up. I do a lot of lifting in it and then I replace it down. If you can find an easier way, I recommend take that way. Anything to make it easier. And now I just have one more. Make sure it's flipped the correct way, because these could be flipped the wrong way, in which case they usually turn away. So you make sure they're flipped together. And for this last one, down through those two, up through the other two, and a final close together. And now we have a little tiny square section of chainmail.